What if I told you that everything you want in life hinges on one simple thing, your belief in yourself? That the secret to achieving the impossible is often this. Sometimes you have to be willing to lie to yourself, at least at first. You need to convince yourself you can do the unthinkable before anyone else believes you, or before even you truly do. Today, we're diving into the power of self belief, why most people lose it, and why embracing a little bit of delusion might just be the smartest thing you ever do. Before we get started and crack open some of the wildest stories that prove this idea, don't forget to subscribe to the Growth Mindset Project. Tap the bell so you never miss a new video, and join our community that's obsessed with shattering limits. If deep down you know you're capable of more, you belong here. Let's get into it. Picture this. You stand in front of your mirror every morning and tell yourself, no, declare, to your reflection, I can do this. Maybe deep down there's a voice laughing at you, mocking you, echoing the doubts everyone else throws at you. But you keep saying it, over and over. You want to write the next best-selling novel, run your own business, become an elite athlete. Maybe you just want to get through one tough day. Whatever your dream, it all starts with that first lie. I can do it, even if there's no evidence, yet. Now let me share a story that proves the world changes when a single person dares to believe. In the early 1950s, running a mile in under 4 minutes was considered impossible. Scientists had all sorts of evidence. They claimed the human heart would fail before you reach the finish line. Journalists, coaches, competitors, everyone believed that was the hard barrier. No ordinary mortal could break it. But one young runner refused to buy what the world was selling. He didn't just train his legs, he trained his mind. He rejected the idea that there was a wall he couldn't break. He lied to himself, if you will. He believed, if someone can run a mile in 4 minutes and 2 seconds, why not 4 flat? Or less? On a spring afternoon, that young runner crossed the finish line at 3 minutes and 59.4 seconds, and the world shattered. Within just 2 months, 22 more runners did what everyone had said was impossible. Pay attention to that detail. 9 years. Nobody could do it. Then suddenly, not just one, but dozens. The only thing that changed? Someone finally believed it could be done. The barrier was never the body, it was always the mind. Let's bring this idea into your life. When you were a kid, your plans were enormous. You wanted to blast off into space, star in blockbuster movies, win championships. And then, life starts to shrink your dreams. The world tells you to set your sights lower. Be realistic. Don't get your hopes up. Most of us start lying to ourselves in a different way. We say quietly, maybe I can't. But what if you refuse to believe it? What if you kept crafting those empowering lies, stubbornly convinced you could be the exception? If you're finding value so far, smash that like button and drop a comment below. What's one wild dream you still secretly believe you could achieve? If you truly backed yourself and never stopped. And if you're still with me after 3 minutes, you're already ahead of 90% of people, because you're still willing to consider your own limitless potential. Now, let's look at another giant story of self-belief. Years ago, a young entrepreneur fell in love with computers at a time when hardly anyone had even seen one. He and a close friend started dabbling in code, staying up late, experimenting. Everyone told him, that's a waste. Computers are never going to be accessible for everyday people. Focus on something real. He even went off to study something more sensible. But you know what he couldn't resist? That inner voice, the one that said, but what if I really could make a difference here? Against advice, against logic, he and his friends started a small technology company. For years, it didn't make any money. People said he was wasting his prime years in a fantasy. But he believed so strongly in what he was building, he kept going. 7 days a week, 18-hour days, no weekends, no vacations. Not one dime from his parents. Just belief that, if he worked hard enough and stayed in the game long enough, something would break through. And it did. The company finally landed a game-changing deal, and the rest is history. Luck played a role. Timing mattered. But here's the truth. Everyone gets lucky at some point. The question is, will you be ready when it's your turn? Most people quit before the opportunity shows up. The one factor that keeps people in the running? Self-belief. That young entrepreneur was ready for his break because he'd paid the price in advance, not just with hard work, but by refusing to quit believing. Here's the tough part. Believing in yourself, especially in the face of no results, feels insane. For every overnight success you see, there's usually a hidden decade of failure, false starts, and lonely nights spent convincing themselves it's possible. Look at one passionate filmmaker who spent 8 years creating scripts that nobody wanted before a single movie finally made him millions. Logically, quitting would have made sense at year 4 or 5, but he didn't. He kept lying to himself that it would work, until eventually, it did. Brief reminder, if you're getting a spark from these stories, hit that subscribe button, slap the bell, and join the conversation below. Your support helps us inspire more dreamers every week, and it helps share these messages with those who need them most. So why does this lie we tell ourselves matter? Because it's a shield. Skill develops slowly, results come even later, but belief is the fuel that keeps you in motion. Take stand-up comics, for example. Most comedians bomb for years. One performer used to forget his jokes on stage, froze up in terror, and still went home every night telling himself, "I'm going to be great at this." He described it as being a bit of a psycho, hanging on to delusion while the real skill caught up. But that delusion is what kept him going long enough for talent to blossom. Look around. The path to achieving anything remarkable requires hanging on to your self-belief long after it feels reasonable. Most people switch paths, lower their aims, or quit entirely because they stop believing. The few who refuse, the ones who keep showing up, being stubborn, working whether or not anyone else believes, are the only ones who discover just how far their belief can take them. Yes, you need work ethic. Yes, you need some luck. But self-belief is the thread that weaves through every success story you've ever heard. It's the one thing you can control, no matter where you start. Sometimes, the first step to greatness is simple. Just dare to believe it's possible, even if you're not sure just yet. If you're enjoying these insights on the power of self-belief, check out our other videos for more stories, tools, and ideas to keep your fire burning. Make sure you subscribe and tap the bell so you never miss an episode with the Growth Mindset Project. Keep believing you'll surprise yourself.